Hello, I'm Rhea, and today I will be doing my 8th discography review. Today I will be discussing Joy Division. So I will be going over their releases An Ideal for Living, Unknown Pleasures, and Closer. I'm just going to get right into it with An Ideal for Living. This is their first EP from 1978. It's a very basic, original sounding classic punk sound to it. Uh, it makes sense because when they first started the band, they were trying to sort of get into the punk scene because that's what they were interested in at the time. Even so, with that, I think that there's a lot of moments on this very short EP that what was to come would sort of shine through, mainly through the lyrics and through some of the riff work. It sort of you can sort of see what was to come. Not very much though, because as I said, it's a very sort of just straightforward, classic sounding punk record. It's a pretty solid listen. The production's all right. The riff working and things of that nature are a little bit generic, but it's still pretty enjoyable. The lyricism is definitely the best part. It definitely shines out, and I think it's one of the things which probably made people want to see what would happen next with the band, and I think that's what happened with me as well. So yeah, this is a pretty solid. It's pretty solid, not a great, but it's pretty solid for a first album or record or whatever. Okay, so next up is 1979's Unknown Pleasures, and I think that this album definitely there was no indication in An Ideal for Living, sonically at least, where this band was going when they released Unknown Pleasures. I think this album took the basic ideas. They took the lyricisms and they took pretty much nothing else. They just went full all the way into what their sound was at the time. They had a very unique production style on this album. I know it's not something that they were particularly fond of looking back, but it really made them stand out with the also riffage and songwriting, which was still within the punk sphere, but it was making something of its own. It was sort of taking this idea of repetitiveness and creating an atmosphere around it, which was very melancholic, very dark, very cryptic. And the songwriting here also skyrockets into an amazing level for me. I think that also the vocals, the way that they are delivered, also really brings out how good the lyricisms and the songwriting are as well. I think that the performance here is amazing. I think that all of the members really gave it their all on this one, and my favorite songs on this album are the opening Disorder, because it's just so amazingly energetic yet so melancholic when you think about it with the lyrics. And I think that really sets the tone for what Joy Division would be known for. So it's a very iconic song for that, and I really love it. So yeah, this album is amazing. It's simply amazing. Uh, and to end off their very short discography, we have their 1980 album Closer, released posthumously 2 months after Ian Curtis unfortunately died. This album is, because of the context, it can be a very cryptic, very depressing listen. In my opinion, it is their best. I think that the very cold sounding production, the use of electronic elements, the sort of combination of the sort of raw sound and the sort of slightly more polished sound that they had on Unknown Pleasures, I think they sort of took that and made it into something that was very beautiful and very dark. And it's a difficult listen, but it is very just beautiful to listen to all the way through. There's not a single song on here that I think I could pick out as being my favorite, because they're all just amazing. I really like the production. As I said, I think it sort of goes with the in between of having some raw elements and having some polished elements. I really like how they incorporated electronics into this album, with electronic bass on Heart and Soul and electronic drums on a lot of the songs. The lyrics are obviously very cryptic and very depressing when you listen to them, but I think they are amazing. And then the vocal delivery as well makes it extremely dark and abysmal sounding for Ian Curtis performing the vocals, and I think that's what makes, I think all of those things coalesce into something extremely beautiful and amazing, and I absolutely love this album to the moon and back. I think it is one of the best albums of all time. I love it, and it's my favorite of theirs. And that's gonna wrap up this video. It's a pretty short one because it's only 3 albums, but I hope you enjoyed this. I will be hopefully doing another one of these reviews soon. And yeah, that's it for me. So, see ya.